Miss Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Miss Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Miss Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. It is Friday talk, so let's talk about Friday. Yes, I talked about mindfulness. I talked about boundaries because I see it more and more. And I found it quite interesting to see how many people do not respect neither one of them. It also surprises me when backlash happened to them, because they're surprised, like, oh my God, it was just for fun. Oh my God, I wasn't being mean. Oh my God. And it's like, you need to back out and mind your own business. I love mind your own business because it's focusing on your life. It's focusing on what you should be doing instead of dictating everything around the block that is not what is supposed to be happening. Life of a thousand, it's a life of creation. Life of a thousand, it's a life of self discovery. How can you have a self discovery if you're putting your nose where it doesn't belong? It's very amazing to me when people react and said, oh my God. I'm like, no. Learn the awareness. Be aware of your surrounding. We always talk about it for ladies. If you go out in the evening or at night, be aware of your surrounding at all time. Don't be surprised if something happened because you decided to park in a bad neighborhood or whatever happened and you don't pay any attention to red flags. It's the same with people. It's the same with situation. We are living in a fishbowl. And a lot of people have a tendency to look over and check what everybody else is doing. My goodness, so much time lost and wasted on, well, this person do this and this person. And you bring your resentment and you're bringing all of this. And it's like, mind your own business. The universe will take care of those people. You don't have to watch over them every 5 minutes to be upset because this and this and they did that and they did that. I'm like, who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? It's their monkey, it's their circus. Okay? Justice always come along. So you don't have to worry about it. It is not your problem. You don't know what's going on in their own head. You don't know what's going on in their home. Just move along. Move along. Respect the process. Respect the people. Respect the boundaries. You don't have to like them. You don't have to go out with them and have a drink with them or go on vacation with them. You can work, and I work with people I didn't get along with, but I did the job because we were supposed to do the job. But did I hang with them at the end of the day? No, I let them be. I don't care. That's learning. Learning about who we are. I have locked my jaws so many times when I wanted to just say what I wanted to say. I just locked my jaw and let it be. I said, you know what? Let it be. It's not even worthy. I have learned at a very young age, seeing what my parents did to each other, then there is battle they are worth to go for it, and some they are not worthy. And I let those they are not worthy alone because I know I will waste more of my time on that. I have done that in relationships as well, and I have done that at work. It was very interesting. I had some very interesting people that I reported to. And I remember that some of them had no idea what the job entailed. And that was on overnight, actually. And they came and get trained and stay there for 6 months because they wanted to they allegedly become managers their site. So what the store used to do is you had to do their site, you have to run every department. Well, the hardest one to do actually is overnight. Not everybody can work on overnight. I loved overnight. That was for me the best time ever. So yeah, I'm both. I'm a day and overnight. But it was very interesting when those people came on board. They had no idea, but their ego was so big. And one day I went head to head with some of them because they were changing things. They were listening to somebody from the floor who had no clue what she was doing, but that's fine. And basically, I backed down and I was running actually the back room, and I was running the receiving area and the trucks. And I backed down. I'm like, fine, this is what you want to do. You cut my wings to take decision, then it's in you. So they wanted to take people from the back room to the floor, which is the stupidest things to do, especially when we need the people to backstop trucks load. So I decided to teach them a lesson one on one, meaning I backed down. So every time they were asking, I said, well, that's not my decision. I'm not supposed to take a decision, so that's yours. Good luck with that. They felt unsettled because they were faced now, instead of blaming somebody who was standing her ground and do what they are supposed to do with the job they had on hand. So the day side crew didn't have to catch up with the overnight, which they were not very happy. Every time we saw them, they were crabby poo. And I let them do it for months and months and months. And then I walked away. They end up shooting themselves in the foot. But it was funny because when this happened, they were so ego and no, we're gonna do this. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna back down. That I'm fine. I can do my job. I literally don't care. So when I send it back in their face and say, it's your decision, not mine. I'm not saying anything. You can pick and choose whoever you want. Not my problem. It did not help the back, but it was an interesting show to see them struggling and look like a bunch of ding-dongs at the end of the day. When you make decision and when you take over, when you let your ego run, then you know what? You have to live with the consequences of your actions, but you cannot blame others when you cut their wings. So seeing how it was turning, those guys had no idea because overnight is not 8 hours. It was an average of 12 hours? I was doing a shift of that was the 410. I was at least doing a minimum of 12 hours every night, 12, 13, 14 hours because we were pushing, we were making sure that we got everything backstock as much as we could. And I remember the first year I was in that back room. It was the first time in all of those years at the time of Christmas, the back room was cleaned by morning. And we did it. We were using some of the equipment and stuff like that, and we were doing it, and we busted our chops to do it. But it was very interesting to see when you have people coming in that really let their ego and think they know better. I have learned way long time ago, when you go somewhere, you don't pop up old Pompeius and say, well, I know better than you do. What would you know what the person knows? To be successful on what you do, you let people who know what they know best to do and let them do it. And that's always been my motto. I gave opportunities for others who wanted to take leadership on some stuff. I let them do it to a certain amount of time. They had 30 days to prove they could do it in some cases, some less than that. And I let them do it. And within 30 days, you would see those individuals that everybody undermined, see how empowered they became, and the job they did was awesome. So you have to be mindful and aware. Now, there is some of them I refuse to give them an area because I knew they will literally flunk it. But the people I gave it to them, I wanted to see what they were capable to do. And I said, if you don't do it properly within 30 days, then I will step in and we'll do it my way. But I gave them opportunity to grow. And within, as I said, those 30 days, those guys did amazing job. The one who were not able to do, they needed to learn more discipline and focus. One of the things that I do is not based who I like, it's based on what are you capable to do. That's the difference. When you're a good leader, you recognize who can do what. I have limitation like everybody else has. We all have some kind of limitations. You have to respect that. And you can overcome those limitations when you know exactly which one you need to work on. And a lot of people don't realize that. That's why I find it so amazing that sometimes when you're listening to people talking, oh, I want to do this or that, like, good for you, just go for it. But when you know what they're capable to do, then they don't on their side know what they can do. But, the idea, I want to eat, your eyes are eating for your stomach. Your stomach is smaller than your eyes. You're eating with your eyes first. I'm going to eat it all. And you're like halfway through, it's like, I cannot eat it more than that because I'm done. Have we ever done that before? Yes, we did. But when it comes down to acknowledge who we are, it is the hardest part to do, to be honest with our own self. There is this, I'm mad at myself because there are a few things I'm like, holy crap, I could have done better with that. But not to being mean or anything, but to be more realistic and authentic. What can I do to improve myself? What can I do to challenge myself? What can I do if I have a contract? What can I do when I'm doing my podcast? I really challenge myself with the awareness, the mindfulness, the practices. It's being disciplined. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm doing it hour an hour because when I do my workout, it's in the afternoon and it can be late evening now when I used to do it in the morning. So there is a lot of things that changed. But the awareness, are you aware of where you are? Are you aware of your limitation? And are you truly telling yourself the truth? Because that's another thing too, trust me. Sometimes you want to be the Lulu about things, and later on you will recognize that, yeah, I wasn't telling the truth to myself on that. Now I'm telling the truth because I realized that wasn't what actually the reality was. I was just projecting something different. So be mindful of where you are. Be realistic of everything you've got. And again, everything you do, look at your skill set. Look at what you can do on the side. Be happy of the life of 1,000 you have. Be happy of the mindfulness we can all live with. I have seen so many things and I have moved so many things. I have accomplished so many things because I allow myself to expand. I allow myself to be curious. I love to go to new projects that maybe are beneath what people will say, well, you're overqualified. Hell yes, I am overqualified, but I'm learning from it because I'm learning something new. I'm learning a different way companies are running their businesses. I'm learning different software. I'm learning different things. So continue to learn. Be on the quest of what I am learning. Because such a key. It is such a key to understand that user experience, not only from the customers, but for the internal users, making a point to do not, like I said, like a fishbowl, stop looking at everybody else's job. Look at what you're doing. See what you can automate so you don't have to do it. My goodness, I love to do that. This is like, as I said on the first podcast for this week, I love to automate things so I don't have to do it. And what else I'm going to do? Because there's always something to do. There is always something to do for a business. Same at home. What else can I do? Well, I can sit my little booty on my lazy boy chair or my sofa on my couch and do nothing. Okay, cool. That sounds good. I'm going to bench on movies. Okay, great. What else can you do? Maybe you can test a new recipe. Maybe you can paint the wall. Maybe you can do some feng shui. Maybe you can do some cleaning. Why not? Possibilities are endless. Are you inspired will be the question of the day. Are you truly inspired? Or are you dragging yourself along because you're not inspired at all? Because you're bored. So what else I'm going to do because I'm bored? Well, maybe start to look online what you could do as an activity. Maybe you can go out a little bit. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to go outside. You can go to the mall without spending your money, but just walk around and be inspired of what you see. Inspiration comes by walking outside alone or in a public area as well. I used to go to to some retail shop once a while, and I just go stroll around a grocery store, and it was my meditation space. You can meditate, you can bring awareness and tranquility in your body when you're around people or not. It depends how you feel that day. There's a lot of things we can do. So, taking care of ourselves, self care to me is one of the biggest things. I talked about it the year before in 2023 when hell broke loose. Hee haw! Jesus, on a motorbike from February through December. That was awesome. It was just like, welcome to hell, Emma. Just take a seat and be ready for it. But you have to look at the evolution and where you are today. If you're not happy with maybe your body, maybe you're not happy where you are at work, time to go and take the plunge. There is jobs here. You can get hired for a job. Don't listen to the crazy machine of news that will depress you like there is no tomorrow with some of their crap. But just look at what are your needs. Sit down, reflect on it, because I can guarantee when you sit down and look at the pain point where you are and look at the goals and solution, do a column for pain point and goals and solutions, focus on that. I saw something this morning that I saved on TikTok actually that to me was great, and it was it the I remember technique, which is saying about, let's say, you're financially struggling. Then it says that I'm financially struggling. I say, oh, I remember when I financially was struggling. Then now I'm making $10,000 a month, and those are my low months. That you speak in a past. You can change. There's the other one from Neville Goddard, which is the revision method you do at night. When you pass your day, you review your day and you change what happened. Maybe you went at work and the project didn't went well and everybody blamed you, or you have somebody who did something that wasn't supposed to happen. Then you can modify that, and when you decide to modify that, you bring a different energy because you're changing from what happened. You're revising your memory so you can shift to a better level and a better perspective and a better energy, so you're attracting something different. So there is few things we can do. As I said, you can go online and do those kind of things. So a lot of people don't realize that, but we are not stuck where we are, even if we feel sometime, like I said to the universe, and I do use my little potty mouth to remind them to move along, stop to get me stuck here, or whatever the deal is, get excited a little bit once in a while and get things moving along. We have endless possibilities. It is ourself and our mind. We always say the mind and the body. It's not the body and the mind. It's the mind and the body. You can help yourself, and I have pushed my body beyond the limits of what I thought could be by refusing to let anyone tell me what will happen with my body, what will happen with my illness, whatever happened. I always listened to my mind because I refused to let anyone bring a doubt. And I've done that with, and I told the story and that will be the last word for today. That old teacher that looked at me one day very solemn because we were taking class. She was doing it for free. Extra curriculum at night just for her to help us, and looked at me and said, I cannot help you, I try everything. Basically she was telling me I was trash, I could have been recycled somewhere or living under bridge. I looked at her. I'm like, in my head, I'm smarter than that lady, and I will do something totally different than the crap you're saying. And I'm not gonna stay here in that town, and I'm gonna have a total different life than you think I will. Why? Because I refuse to let that woman influence me for the rest of my life. And she probably influenced other in a very bad way the rest of their lives, because for her standard, I was to be recycled or trashed somewhere, because I was probably considered a dumb, which I'm not actually, because I do statistics, I do analysis, and I do a lot of things. So, but that was her perspective. So don't let anyone tell you you're not smart. Don't let anyone make you believe this, or you're sick, or you're this, or you're that. You know why? Because when you do this, then you're gonna act like it is, and that's not what it's supposed to be. So, all my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast. Universe Podcast.